Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Let Me Tell You About Homestuck. This week we'll cover September 20th, 2013 through September 28th, 2013. And the reason I'm doing it on a Saturday instead of a Friday is because from the 24th on I was like, is something wrong with my computer or is he not updating? So I just kept refreshing and I was like, well, that's weird. So I gave him an extra day, and he did update this morning. So I'm going to include that update into this week's. Alright, so we left off, and there was Pyrospite with a couple of flecks of Gamzee's blood on him. Zanzu saying hello again. And Terezi was going crazy on Gamzee, and this week it starts off with Jane with a clearly annoyed look on her face. And she then uses her powers to try to revive Jade again, and she says that she sees absolutely no reason this should be a failure. And then suddenly there's the two dogs, as I call them, PM and Jack, and they're fighting with Dave over Jade's body. So there we go, another problem. Dave is making several threats and wisecracks about them being dogs and threatens to attack him with his sword, and PM is also brandishing a weapon at Dave. So, yeah, that's where that stops off. And he's not able to get Jade's body yet. Then it switches to the scene with Calliope and Jade talking. Cat is all about this camera this week. I guess he's just going to stay on my lap. Hope that's not a problem for you guys. Anyway, so they're in Calliope's little dream area, and they're sitting in front of the stage and just chatting. Jade apparently has absolutely no memories of what's going on right now. She doesn't know if she's dead. She doesn't know if she's alive. She has absolutely no idea. And she can't remember. Calliope offers to use her magics to wake her up, but she's a little hesitant to do this because then she'll be alone. Hey guys, we're back. We had a little battery problem. So, moving on. So Calliope, doesn't want to be alone, so she doesn't want to wake Jade up. But Jade also equally doesn't want to be woken up because even if it would confirm whether she's alive or dead, she feels like she's done something terrible. And she can't remember what it is, so she really doesn't want to be woken up. So, eventually the conversation shifts to, what is Callie's name? Because Jade has been talking with her and she doesn't know what her name is, but Calliope, of course, explains that she can't give her name, but you can call her by her troll sona, Callie. And, of course, Jade doesn't know what a troll sona is, so they talk about it, and Jade decides to make a troll sona. And let me tell you, if there's a picture or a reference or a drawing or anything, would cosplay. In an instant. Would cosplay. Sounds awesome. Of course, they talk about blood colors, and Jade is like, of course she's going to choose green, and Callie's happy because that's her blood color. So they decide to be blood sisters, and they decide that they're going to need to totally draw it. And then they start messing around with the stage because they don't really know why it's here, because it's not part of anybody's memories and stuff. And it ends pretty much with them messing with the stage, and then it shifts back to where Jane is. You see her firing her life energy at Jade's body, and Jack picks up the body and moves it, and at that point she's infuriated because she's trying to revive Jade. And instead of there being an understanding there, instead of like their intelligent selves, they act like dogs. You see PM growling and brandishing a weapon at Jane, and Jane just eventually reaches into her pocket. And I was with a friend when this happened, and we were debating, what's she pulling out of her pocket? And my friend was like, it's totally a mouse. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But it totally was. It's a little red mouse. She picks it up out of her pocket and throws it, and that summons Godcat. She figures that the dogs, being dogs, will chase Godcat, and they'll drop Jade's body, and she can revive her. But it doesn't work that way. They start chasing Godcat, and they take Jade's body with her. So, yeah, that didn't work. But Dave confirms that, Jane can revive Jade, and takes off after the dogs immediately after, of course, once again calling her John's hot mom. He says to wait there and don't die and everything, and then probably the cutest part of the update, besides the Callie stuff, happens when Jane just is blushing over this. And if you think about it, this is one of the very first times that Jane has been, complimented. I mean, Caliborn called her fat. It seems like she couldn't be with anybody she wanted to be with. She was kind of just always getting stomped on, and now she's getting a compliment, and it's just really sweet. Even if she's being mind-controlled right now, it's very sweet to see her reaction. So, yeah. The next part is Rose jumping into the scene and watching... That was my phone. I'm sorry. I should be turning off all distractions when I make a video, right? Silly Chris. Anyways, Rose finally comes onto the scene and is wondering what's going on with Dave, and then right directly below her she sees Roxy passed out, and of course, she still thinks of her as her mom, so it's kind of a little thing to her. And then it switches over to Karkat and Kanaya running through the forest, complaining that they're not really part of the action, and that even though Kanaya can run faster because she's a rainbow drinker, it's like, why can't we fly? We're the only two that can't fly, and it's so frustrating to them. And I feel kind of bad for them. So, poor guys. Anyways, next is they see Dave fly by, and they're going to question him, but he's like, nope, chasing the dogs. So even he calls them dogs now, because, well, I'm not really sure if he knows. Well, he should know what they are, right? Yeah, that's in the story. They should know who they are, but I guess he's just like me and like everybody else who just refers them as dogs so they act more like dogs than their original selves, so. Now, if I would have filmed yesterday, that would be it. But I did not. I filmed today. And super cool update is happening right now, and everybody's finally getting to see how Dirk's powers work. So the scene switches to him and Arania, and she's going on saying, you could have cut off my arm and taken the ring during one of my long talks, and then I could be just like Mindfang, where, she loses her arm because she was so super overly confident, and he's just like, dude, this is clearly a trap. Why in the world would I dive into one of your traps? He drops the sword. He's like, no, I'm not giving in to your stupid ploy. And he's like, if I can't get the ring, I'll just suck the soul out of your body. And he uses his heart powers, because if you guys remember, heart actually works in the way that it's more working with the soul. It's not actual heart. So yeah, he proceeds to suck the soul out of her body, and she's screaming and totally shocked. And then that's all we get. That's all we get. It's 9:30 a.m. and that's where the updates stop for now. But totally cool, right? Totally cool. Even if this isn't real Dirk and it's Brain Ghost Dirk, we get to see how his powers work. Totally awesome. So yeah, that's where the updates end, and this cat has been like up in this whole thing the whole time. So obviously he wants some camera attention, guys. Just tell him how pretty he is. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this, and of course, as always, leave me comments. Tell me what I can do better, because I'm trying to be better at these. I want them to be entertaining, I want them to be fun, and I also want to hear you guys' theories. I would be happy to add fan theories and thoughts into this, too. So, yeah. But until next time, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will talk to you again later. Bye!